What's up, everybody? It's Rick Pino here from Get Wisdom. What if I told you that getting rich is brutally easy and brutally simple, but only if you know the real rules of the game? See, most people, they're connected to the fake rules that were never designed for their success anyways. In today's training, I'm going to be sharing with you the 3 secrets on why getting rich is easy. Anyone can do this. Let's buckle up. We're talking about it today in the training. Let's go. Here's what I need you to understand, okay? Getting rich isn't complicated, all right? Getting rich is not complicated. It's not some like secret locked away in a dusty book that only millionaires and billionaires have access to. The real secret is this: wealth is brutally simple. That's it. Wealth is brutally simple. But the cultural, societal mechanism, my mentor calls it the cultural hypnotic societal mechanism, basically school, brainwashes you, and culture, school, culture, all of it, brainwashes you your whole life to believe otherwise, that wealth is not brutally simple. But the truth is that not only is wealth simple, it's brutally simple, okay? And the reason why most people never unlock real wealth is because they don't want to become the person it takes in order to access it. That's literally it, right? Like, oh man, I don't want to have to like learn new skills. I don't want to have to like become a new person. I don't want to have to put in hard work. I don't want to have to go through a process. Well, wealth should be, because of this, wealth is hard. Not necessarily, man. The concept of wealth is brutally simple. See, those people who have this broke mentality, this poverty mentality, they want wealth to be smooth. They want wealth to be easy. They want wealth to be no problems. They would rather work a little, complain a lot, and expect the world to hand them the gold they feel entitled to. But that's not how wealth works. They believe the lies that society tells them, just work hard and it will all work out somehow. Anyone here ever heard that before, guys? Right? It's like, hey, just work hard. It's all going to work out. Like somehow, some way, just work hard and you'll get there, right? But this is so sad. Most hardworking people, they grind their whole lives and wake up in their late 60s, early 70s with nothing to show for it. I mean, it is one of the most heartbreaking things to me. Like, you go into like a Walmart or something like that, and no shade to these people. It's just heartbreaking. You go into like a Walmart or something, and there are people, at the door, like, they're in their 70s and 80s. Like I've seen a woman probably in her late 80s working the door at Walmart. And I promise you this, she is probably a very, very hard-working woman, hard-working person, her whole entire life. I say it like this often, guys. If hard work alone made you rich, then the donkey would own the farm, right? It's not just about hard work alone. We have got to understand the wealth secrets of working smarter, right? Just work hard is a lie designed to keep you stuck, delusional, and most importantly, it's a lie designed to keep you as a worker and not an owner. That's how culture has set it up, guys. Culture wants you to be a hard worker, a taxpayer. Did you know that workers, they pay the most tax out of anyone? I'm not saying they make the most money, but if you have a W-2 job, first of all, nothing wrong with that. But man, if you're getting paid directly to your name as an employee, you literally pay the highest percent of tax out of anyone. It's ludicrous, man. Like, think about it. Before you can spend a single dime of your own hard-earned money, the government is already taking it in taxes. Right? Think about that for a minute. Broke people work hard and most of the time have nothing to show for it. But wealthy people, we are owners, not just workers. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm a worker. I'm a hard worker. Some would say I got that dog in me, right? I'm a pusher, man. I'm a worker. I'm a hard worker, but I'm not just a worker. I am an owner. I own multiple assets, right? And I'm not just under the mindset of like, man, the only way to make more money is to go get a job, right? Here's a huge secret of wealth that I need to impart to you right now. Huge secret of wealth, okay? Money flows to those who can see reality as it really is, not as they wish it to be. This is another big difference between wealthy-minded people and broke-minded people. Broke-minded people, all they have is like their hope, like I hope one day, oh, it must be nice. But wealthy-minded people, we actually see reality as it is, right? So what does that mean? It means you need to first and foremost take massive responsibility and accountability for your current financial situation. You probably heard me say this before, but your current financial situation is your fault. If you're in a financial situation right now that you don't care for, you're the problem. You're the one who's got you there. However, you are also the solution and you can get you out of it, right? So the first thing you need to understand is you have to take massive responsibility and massive accountability if you truly desire to tap in to these 3 secrets on why getting rich is easy, okay? Next, you need to understand that wealth creation, please hear me on this, friends. Wealth creation is a game that either you are playing the game or the game is playing you. Like, how many times? Gosh, man, I'm thinking back over like my whole entire history of building businesses and going through all the processes. Gosh, man, I have been played by the game many, many, many times. And now I'm working on becoming a player of the game, right? And I don't want to just be played by the game. I want to play the game so I can win, right? Wealth doesn't come to dreamers. It comes to those who are willing to learn how to play the game. And play the game by the real rules. Think about that. If you don't understand the rules, are y'all tracking? Wave at me on the screen like this if y'all are tracking, right? If you don't understand the rules of a game, it is impossible for you to win. So how in the world do you expect to win at the game of wealth and creating riches and wealth for your family if you don't even understand the rules of the game, right? So in order to win the game of wealth, you have to understand and play by the real rules and not the fake ones. What am I talking about? The fake ones, right? Most people are poor. Most people are broke-minded because they are unwilling to get uncomfortable. I need somebody in the comments shout, get uncomfortable. That's why most people stay struggling, man. That's why most people stay in patterns of poverty, in cycles of scarcity, is because most are willing to get uncomfortable. They go to work. They make what they believe is a quote unquote decent living. They come home, they eat dinner, they watch TV, and they can't wait for the weekend. Just today, I had somebody, it's Friday today, right? If you're watching this later, it's Friday. If you're here live with me, it's Friday, okay, as I'm recording this. And just today, I had somebody go, hey, happy Friday, it's the weekend. And, obviously I'm being cordial to them. Hey, awesome, happy Friday. But I'm thinking in my mind, like, bro, if you are living for the weekend, your stuff is broke, man. Do you actually, think about it for a second. Do you actually think the system wants you to be rich? No. It wants you comfortable so it can control you. Are y'all tracking? If you're tracking, shout, I'm tracking down the comments, right? The system, the cultural hypnotical societal mechanism wants you comfortable, wants you to go to your job, be comfortable, make a quote unquote decent living, come home, eat dinner, watch TV, can't wait for the weekend because you're easily controllable. Comfortable people will work their whole lives for someone else's dream. They will pay most taxes with no questions asked, by the way. Oh man, the government, before my paycheck even hit my account, before I was even able to spend a single penny of my own hard-earned money, the government already had their hands in the pot and I'm not even going to say anything. That's what comfortable people do, bro. Like, oh, that's just how it is. Comfortable people work their whole lives for someone else's dream. They pay the most in taxes with no questions asked. They won't ever learn anything different that's outside of their comfort zone, and they can easily be manipulated, managed, and controlled. But guys, I have incredible news for you, okay? Why are we going to talk about the 3 secrets on why getting rich is easy today? Because I have amazing news for you. The person who owns the system, they're the ones who get rich. The person who stays inside of the system stays poor. They stay broke-minded. Remember what I just said a few moments ago. If you have the desire to win at the game of wealth, then you've got to learn how to play by the real rules. And the real rules in the game of wealth are not stay comfortable, do what everybody else does, live for the weekend, be a hard worker. It's all going to work out. The real rules of wealth creation are this. You've got to become an owner. That's why, my friends, that is why getting rich is brutally simple. The very first thing I said in this training just a few moments ago, getting rich is brutally simple. But you have been brainwashed by culture, by society, by school, by church to believe different. But I'm here to tell you, getting rich is brutally simple. You just have to know the real rules of the game. Here's the thing. I submit to you, it's not about luck. It's not about trying to work harder. It's not even about like, I'm super smart. It's about having the courage. Somebody in the comments say courage. It's about having the courage to not play by the rules that were never designed for your success. I'm going to say that one again. When it comes to wealth creation, it's not about luck. It's not about working hard. It's about having the courage to not play by the rules that were never designed for your success. The rules of the poor, the rules of the broke-minded person are work hard, right? The rules of the broke-minded people save, right? This is going to keep you in the broke-minded, in the broke situation. Work hard, save, and here's my favorite rule, a broke-minded rule. This is the one that keeps people in patterns of poverty and cycles of scarcity. What is it? Pray and hope. Man, I'm just going to pray harder. I'm just going to believe God for another miracle. Friends, that's not how it works. That's not how wealth creation works. The rules of the rich, let's talk about the rules of the rich. The rules of the rich are, what are the rules of the rich? Number 1, own. Yes, hard work is awesome, but you can't just be a worker. You have to become an owner. Number 1, you've got to own. Number 2, control. Not in a controlling, manipulative sense, okay? But in a sense of like, you're the operator, right? You're the one who makes the rules. You're not playing by the rules of society. You're the one, you own the system, so you make the rules, okay? And number 3, this one's one of my favorite. Multiply. Somebody in the comments say multiply, 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 okay? So, broke-minded people rules, work hard, save, pray and hope that it's just going to somehow work out one day. Rules of the rich, own, control / operate, and multiply, okay? Here's an example for you. Imagine 2 people, okay? The first one works at a 9-to-5 job. Every month they work hard. They earn a paycheck so they can pay their bills and try to have enough left over to, do whatever they desire to do, and maybe save a small portion of their paycheck, hoping, just hoping and praying one day they'll have enough. The second person takes that same time, the same time the first went to their 9 to 5 to work their job, the second person takes that same time, that same energy, but chooses a more risky, less comfortable route of building a business and investing into themselves and into their education and building some skills. And they learn basic skills like how to market, how to serve people and solve problems, how to sell things. Now, obviously, that's way more uncomfortable than just like, whew, I'm just gonna go get a job, man. Whew, I'll let somebody else worry about it. Just tell me what to do, punch me in 9 to 5, I'm done. Right? So take these two scenarios. Person number one, they're a 9 to 5er, they have it real comfortable, very low risk. Person number two, they take the same time, but they make themselves they put themselves willingly in an uncomfortable situation. They build businesses, they learn new skills, they invest into themselves, and they take bigger risks, right? 10 years later, person one has maybe a little bit of savings. They're tired, they're for sure tired. They're worn out in their body and probably in their mind. Person number two, though, 10 years later, after building themselves and building their business and building their skills, they own assets. They have cash flow. They have time freedom and financial freedom. Same hours, think about this, friends. Same hours, same years, but completely different outcomes. Why? Because person one played by the rules designed for safety and comfort. But person number two played by the rules, the real rules of wealth creation designed for ownership and freedom. Is anybody getting this, man? If you're getting it, drop some fire emojis in the comments. I'm trying to help you, man. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to teach you why getting rich is brutally easy, brutally simple. And here in just a second, I'm going to give you the 3 practical tips, but just track with me. I'm trying to just build a context for you here, a foundation for you here, okay? Now, here's the psychology behind it all. People are just scared of risk, right? Everyone's scared of risk, especially in the beginning. People are scared of risk. They fear failure more than they desire success. Ooh, think about that. I know so many people right now, bro, off the top of my head, they are more afraid to fail than they have a desire to actually succeed. It's crazy. This fear keeps those kind of people locked in cages they built for themselves. They cling to the idea of stability and safety, but not realizing the lie of job security and stability are just big illusions. In fact, check this story out. This is so crazy. I know two people very, very close to me, okay? This past year, I'm gonna take a drink of my electrolyte water 1 second. People always like, what's in there? It's just electrolytes. I got stopped today. What are you drinking? It's electrolytes. Check this out. This past year, I know two people very, very close to me. Both of them had very strong, multiple 6-figure per year jobs. I'm talking like multiple 6 figures, right? Friend number one, person number one, they went into work one day. Hey, we really appreciate you. We're so sorry about this, but we had to let you go. Gone! Job security, like literally second in command. Job security gone, right? Person number two, same exact thing. They went into work one day. We're so sorry about this. We have to make some cuts, blah, blah, blah. Man, we hate to see you go, man, but we have to let you go. Gone. Like, this is why I'm trying to tell y'all, one stream of income is too close to 0 streams of income. I say it all the time, man, right? You've got to learn the real rules of wealth creation. And even if you climb the ladder of the fake rules of being a worker, like I want to be a hard worker and climb my way to the top, even then, The system is not designed to see you succeed. Are y'all getting this? If you're getting it, shout, I'm getting it, I'm getting it, I'm getting it, right? So obviously people are scared to fail. And they're more scared to fail than they are to even have the desire to succeed. This fear keeps them locked in cages they built for themselves. They cling to the idea of stability and safety when the idea of job security and stability, in my opinion, are just the biggest illusions. Jobs vanish. Economies change. Happens all the time. Inflation literally eats your savings. This means the safe path is actually the riskiest path. Ooh, what did he just say? What's Rick saying? I just said it. Guys, the safe path is actually the riskiest path. Are you guys seeing this? Are you seeing this? You have to flip the mindset, man. You have to flip the mindset. Only the bold can create wealth. Only the courageous can create wealth. Not the timid, not the scared, definitely not those who give up the second anything gets a little bit tough. Instead of let me submit this idea to you. Instead of asking yourself, what if I fail? What if it doesn't work? What if I can't do it? You need to start asking yourself, what if I never even try? See, the problem here, guys, is that one of the biggest reasons why people stay in these cycles of scarcity is because they are literally, they believe more in their limitations than they do in their God-given potential. They believe more in what can't happen than what can happen. They don't want to be uncomfortable for a little season. They don't want to have to become a new person. I'm just going to try to I just want to be comfortable. Even in the church, man, I come from the church background, from ministry background. That is one of the biggest things I heard from so many people. We don't want to be greedy. We just want to be comfortable. Can I submit something to you? In my opinion, comfort in that sense, financial comfort or job security comfort is not necessarily God's best for you. Why? Because it doesn't require God. Right? If you take no risk, it doesn't require God. Playing it safe doesn't require God. You've got to put yourself in situations, man, where you're not in the actual riskiest path of all, which is the safe path, right? So how exactly, now we're going to get into these 3 seconds. How exactly does someone build real wealth and actually get rich? Is anybody here interested to know this? If that's you, shout, that's me, that's me, that's me down in the comments. I'm glad you asked. Let's talk about it, guys. These are the 3 secrets on why getting rich is very easy, okay? Number 1, you must learn to build skills. You've got to learn to build skills. You've got to start building these skills, like I mentioned earlier, okay? You've got to build skills like how can you solve problems for people? Maybe you got to learn the skill of marketing. You definitely have to learn the skill of learning how to sell things without being like, sales is weird and blah, blah, blah. Listen, the whole entire earth goes around on sales. The only reason why anyone anywhere has any money at all is because somebody somewhere sold something for a profit. You've got to build skills, man. In fact, if you're taking notes, write it down like this. You have got to become so good that no one can ignore you. That's the level of skill you've got to get to. You've got to be so good at your thing that you cannot be ignored. When you get to that level of skill, creating income becomes very, very easy, right? In fact, if you're taking notes, write this down. There's a scripture in Ecclesiastes. I talk about it from time to time. Ecclesiastes 10:10. And it literally says this: if the axe is dull and you do not sharpen the edge, then you must use more strength to chop down the tree. But wisdom or skill brings success. What does that mean? Think about it. Of course, it's super hard for most people to even approach the idea of getting rich or building wealth because for them, it's like, man, this is so hard. Yeah, because you're not very skilled. Like, no shade on this, but like if you work at Starbucks, that's a very, very, very easy skill that anyone off the street can learn in an hour. I've never made a Starbucks cup of coffee in my life, but trust me, in probably about 20 minutes, I could learn how to make one of their lattes or something. It's a very easy skill, right? Why are those kind of people, again, no shade, right? But hear what I'm saying. If you only have the basic skills and you're not very sharp, you're just like, one of millions, like, dime a dozen, then of course it's going to be hard for you to build wealth because you have to swing harder to chop down the tree. The edge of your life, the skills of your life they're not sharp. So you got to work harder to do the same exact thing that somebody who's sharp with skill. Remember, wisdom or skill brings success. The word wisdom there is the word skill, by the way, in Ecclesiastes 10:10. So the more skills you build, think about it. Like if you get better at sales, it's going to be easier to sell stuff. And chopping down the tree becomes way easier. If you get better at creating offers, then it's going to be easier to serve people and to solve their problems. And then now chopping down the tree, it's easier. You've got to build skills. That's the very first thing when it comes to building wealth and getting rich. You've got to become skilled, man. You have to sharpen your axe. You have to. Or you can just stay comfortable. I don't have to practice. I don't have to learn new skills. I'm too old for this. I'm too young for this. I don't get this tech stuff. AI, I'll never be able to get that. Fine, stay dull. Have to swing 1,000 times more to chop down the same tree as me. I'm pushing myself to learn these new skills. I can swing once, and if I'm sharp enough, that thing's going down. Are y'all getting this? Somebody shout, I'm getting it in the comments, okay? You have to develop skills that create value, okay? Not just skills of like, whatever, like I'm the best thumb wrestler in the world. Like that's probably a thing, actually, I don't know. But you have to build skills that actually bring value to other people's lives. Like the skill of marketing is really awesome because the skill of getting out a message, you can provide value to people if you can market to a lot of people. The skill of selling, you can bring value to somebody's life if you sell them something. The skill of creating an offer with a digital product, it can bring value to people, right? You got to get skills. You have to develop your skills that create value, okay? You get paid. Here's what I need you to understand. When it comes to getting rich, why is it brutally easy? Why is it brutally simple? Because you get paid for the level of problem you solve. That's literally it. That's the game. Why do people who, again, no shade, but if they work at McDonald's, okay, anyone can learn that skill. They're getting paid, a few bucks an hour, to where a brain surgeon, they make probably, $400K a year, maybe $500K a year, depending on what kind of surgeon they are, right? There's a big difference there. Why? Because one requires almost zero skill and one requires a way higher level of skill. So guess what? You are paid according to the level of the problem that you solve. How can you solve more problems? You build more skills, period. Now, one thing I love about skills is skills compound and you can stack skills on top of each other. If you have the skill of public speaking and you have the skill of marketing and you have the skills of sales and you have the skills of whatever, content creation, and you have the skills of funnel building and you have the skills of AI, all of these things stack very, very synergistically together. Y'all seen it, right? So here's how it works. Solve big problems, get paid big money. Solve small problems, get paid small money, right? Like talking literally to a first grader, right? If you solve a common problem, right, you're going to get paid common. If you solve a problem for a lot of people, you'll get paid a lot. If you solve a problem for a little bit of people, you'll get paid a lot, unless the people you serve, it's a rich person problem. You want to get paid better? Go sell to rich people. Are y'all seeing it? It's very simple, okay? So that's the first step in order to getting rich made simple is number one, you've got to build your skills, man. You've got to sharpen your axe, okay? If you're ready for number two, drop a 2 in the chat. Now that you've built some skills, now that you're developing your skills, the second thing you've got to do is you have to build leverage. What does it mean to build leverage, okay? Now that you have skills, you need to learn how to leverage your skills, okay? Leverage means you get so good at your skill that you eventually get more from your effort than a low level of effort putting it in. Like leverage, when you become very, very, very skilled, okay, you can literally do more with less. It's this concept here of Ecclesiastes 10:10, where the axe is dull, it's harder to chop down the tree, but when the axe is sharp, wisdom or skill brings success, right? It's easier to chop it down. Think about it. Who's going to be more worn out and get less results? The person who does 1,000 swings because they're not skilled, or the person who leverages, they're so sharp in their skills that they can leverage one single swing and boom, the tree falls down. That's called leverage, my friend. But if you don't have skills, you can't leverage them. If you don't get really, really, really good, if you don't get good to the point where people can't ignore you, then it's going to be really hard for you to get to that place to leverage your skills. Okay? So for instance, a job, by the way, job stands for just over broke. A job is low leverage. Think about that. An hour of work for a single paycheck, right? Like not even, right? It's like 80 hours of work for one paycheck, right? If you're working 40 hours a week for 2 weeks, most people get paid every other week. 80 hours of work to get paid once. That is like super low leverage, right? But a business is high leverage. Think about it. One digital product, one course, one mentorship program, one video, one offer, one sales funnel can all reach thousands and even millions. Guys, I have literally shot ads. One time, I've shot one ad that has literally been seen by millions of people, not once, but every single month. I literally held my phone up like this and shot it one time. And now millions of people see it every single month. That's leverage. Like I'm telling you, you've got to build skills so that next you can build leverage. See, broke-minded people, they think, well, how can I make more money per hour? Like maybe I should become a manager. They're thinking in the old fake rules that were not designed for your success, right? Like, man, I need to make some more money. I need to go find a second job. I need to pick up an extra shift, right? But wealthy people, we think like this. How can I create something once that pays me forever? Aha! This is leverage, my friend. Rich people, wealthy people, we are always looking for leverage. We aren't trying to work harder, right? Even though we're hard workers, we're not trying to work harder just for the sake of working hard. We are looking for ways to work smarter. If hard work alone made you rich, then the donkey would own the farm. Leverage takes courage. You're not going to get rich by being timid or scared or afraid or comfortable. Like, I just want to stay comfortable. And you're definitely not going to get there by giving up. Leverage, getting rich, building wealth takes courage, my friend. You must be willing to face failure. You must be willing to risk looking stupid or being misunderstood. You must be willing to risk losing money. And the reason why most people are broke and they're stuck and they're in patterns of poverty is because most people can't stomach that. And that's exactly why broke-minded people, poor people, they stay safe but they also stay broke. The few who can endure the pain, they end up free. And secret number 3, guys, if you're ready for secret number 3, drop a 3 down in the chat. So number 1, why is getting rich so simple? Why is it so easy? Because number 1, it just takes some skills. Number 2, now that you've built some skills, you got to build leverage. And then number 3, guys, this one is extremely powerful. Now that you've built leverage, you have to learn how to build systems. What is a system? A system allows you to multiply your leverage to create financial freedom and time freedom. Now, here's what I love about systems. Systems produce similar results for everyone who follows the system. Here's what I love about systems. Systems are God's success automation. What does that mean? It means, did you know that people who live in cycles of scarcity and patterns of poverty, the reason why they're there is because they're living off of systems that were designed to keep them in that same place. It literally becomes automatic. And those of us who it's like, man, everything he touches turns to gold. Everything she touches turns to gold. Why? Because we live off of systems that were created and instituted by God. Yes, they put you in some uncomfortable places sometimes. Yes, you have to work on yourself, and you have to understand that when you're building a business, the business is actually building you. Hello. But when you follow those systems, success also becomes automatic the same way that failure and struggle is automatic for broke people. Why? Because whatever system you attach your decisions to causes the repercussions to become automatic. My God, I'm giving y'all some fire nuggets today, bruh. Wealthy people know, I'm going to go here. Wealthy people know that cash is trash. Wealthy people know that cash is trash. But how many of y'all know that cash flow is where it's at? In fact, I like saying it like this. Cash flow is always better than cash grow. What does that mean? It means I would much rather, as a wealthy person, I would much rather have consistent cash flow coming in than trying to like little by little by little by little save my way to wealth. I'm not saying that you shouldn't save. It's good to have savings for investing. It's good to maybe have a little safety net. That's cool. It's good to have a little cash on hand, just in case. But I'm not talking about saving your way to wealth. I'm talking about cash flow is better than cash grow, baby. I'm talking about cash is trash. You got to get that cash flow going, because guess what? Everything will live where the river flows. I'm trying to hook y'all up, man. You want to see things come to life in your finances? You got to get the river of cash flowing, baby. When the cash is flowing, because you have built your skills, you've built your leverage, and now you've built systems around your leverage, that cash flow just starts coming in. When you leverage your skills by putting systems in place like business systems, financial systems, investment systems, you literally turn on the money printing machine. Every dollar is a soldier. Did you understand that? Listen to what I'm saying to you. Every dollar is a soldier. And what most broke-minded people do is they send every dollar that is a soldier to its death by spending it on liabilities. But wealthy people, we send every dollar to battle to protect us by setting up these systems. And here's the crazy part. When you send your soldiers to battle following success systems and success principles, guess what? Every single soldier that goes out there on this system, they create more soldiers. What? I'll tell y'all this. Yesterday, I was doing some work at the bank, and I forgot that I had done this. I had set up this investment account this past year, and I'd set some of my systems up in place, and I totally forgot about it, right? I just set the systems up, and yesterday I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that account. Like, can you check this account for me? So I had the banker pull it up. I had made $70,000 last year from this random thing that I forgot that I did, and it was like, brrr, like it prints every single month. I was like, huh, that's cool. How many of y'all would like to wake up and find 70K? Wave them in a screen like this, yes? It doesn't happen by mistake. It happens because I built some skills, and then I learned how to leverage the skills, and then I built systems around those skills, systems of business, systems of finance, and systems of investments. Guys, this is why wealthy people, we don't work for money. We have money work for us. How amazing would that be to wake up in the morning and you don't have to go work for that money, but you wake up in the morning, you open up your account, and your money had worked for you. You woke up to money being made even while you slept. It's not too shabby, right? When you systematize your leverage skill and multiply it through these systems, that's when you can use cash flow to purchase more assets, leverage against your assets. This is a whole nother training for a whole nother time, and create even more cash flow. Now you become financially unstoppable. Like I have a number of investments right now that I can literally, I've built some of these systems in place, and the investments have grown, to multiple seven figures, and two specifically that I'm thinking of off the top of my head, where now if I wanted to, I can go leverage against those assets that continue to produce cash flow every single month, and I could literally go leverage against them, take more cash out from the debt, not even touch what I have in there, it just stays growing, take the cash that I leverage against the asset and go do it again. Guys, when you learn how to do this, you become financially unstoppable. What? How in the world do you learn how to do that? I'll tell you how. You've got to build the skill to learn how to do it. And then whenever you learn to build the skills on how this works, then you have to learn how to leverage those skills. And then after you build the leverage, then you can learn how to build the system. This is why I'm telling you guys in today's training, this is why I'm telling you, getting rich is brutally simple. And it's even easy if you know which set of rules to play by. So ask yourself this question, guys. Would you rather be played by the game, or would you rather learn how to play the game so you can win?